In a vast galaxy filled with different planets and strange beings, there was a powerful group known as the Galactic Council. This council consisted of various alien races, each with unique abilities and technologies. They were responsible for keeping peace and order across the galaxy. One day, they received a strange and unexpected message from a small blue planet called Earth. The message was simple but alarming. "Stay away from Earth." Most members of the council laughed when they heard it. They thought it was just a joke. After all, Earth was a small and unimportant planet, and its people were known for their weak bodies and silly conflicts. Many council members believed that humans were nothing to worry about. Among the council members was an ambitious diplomat named Zephyr. Zephyr was a tall, green-skinned alien with large eyes that sparkled with curiosity. Unlike others, he was intrigued by the message. He believed it might be a challenge worth exploring. What if humans are more powerful than we think? He wondered. This thought sparked a fire in his mind. "I want to go to Earth," Zephyr declared during a council meeting. The room fell silent. The other members exchanged glances, some chuckling quietly. "Why would you want to visit that backward planet?" asked a council member with blue skin and sharp teeth. "They can't even fly to the stars like we do." But Zephyr was determined. "I think we should see for ourselves. We cannot dismiss their warning without understanding it. What if Earth is hiding something? What if humans are stronger than we believe?" His words had a weight that made some council members reconsider. After much debate, the council decided to let Zephyr lead a small team to Earth. He was joined by 3 other aliens: Zara, a brilliant engineer with silver skin; Grom, a warrior known for his strength and bravery; and Lyra, a skilled pilot with a quick mind. Together, they prepared for their journey to the unknown planet. As their ship blasted off into space, Zephyr felt a mix of excitement and fear. What would they find on Earth? Would humans really be a threat? Or were they just as weak as the council believed? With these questions swirling in his mind, he looked out at the stars, feeling a sense of adventure. When they finally arrived at Earth, they landed in a remote forest, far away from any human city. The team stepped out of their ship and breathed in the fresh air. "It smells strange here," Grom commented, wrinkling his nose. The trees were tall and lush, and the sounds of birds filled the air. "Let's find some humans and see what they are really like," Zephyr said, his eyes shining with determination. As they ventured deeper into the forest, they noticed signs of human presence: trails, small clearings, and even some trash left behind. They were excited but also cautious. Zephyr reminded the team, "Remember, we are here to observe and learn. Do not attack unless necessary." The group nodded, understanding the importance of their mission. After walking for some time, they stumbled upon a small village. Humans were busy working, talking, and playing. The aliens hid behind the trees, watching closely. Zephyr was amazed at how diverse and lively the humans seemed. They were not just weak creatures, they laughed, cried, and fought with passion. Suddenly, a group of children ran past, playing a game. They laughed and shouted, completely unaware of the aliens watching them. Zephyr felt a strange pull in his heart. "Look at them," he said softly. "They are full of life. Maybe there is more to these humans than we know." As they continued to watch, the villagers noticed something strange in the sky. Zephyr's heart raced as he realized they might be spotted. He quickly ordered the team to retreat to their ship. "We need to leave before they see us," he urged. Back in their ship, Zephyr couldn't shake the feeling that something important was happening on Earth. The warning had intrigued him, and now he wanted to learn more. He looked at his team, each with their own thoughts, and wondered if they would soon understand the true strength of humanity. This was just the beginning of their adventure, and Zephyr knew that Earth held secrets waiting to be uncovered. What lay ahead? Only time would tell. After their first glimpse of Earth, Zephyr and his team prepared for a closer look at the blue planet. They were filled with excitement and a bit of fear. They had heard the warning from humans, but now they were ready to learn if it was true. The ship glided smoothly through the atmosphere, and the team could see lush green forests, vast oceans, and sprawling cities below. "Prepare for landing," Zephyr commanded, his voice steady. The team quickly checked their equipment and made sure everything was in order. As they descended, the ship shook slightly, and the crew felt a rush of adrenaline. They had never been to Earth before, and the thrill of the unknown excited them. The ship touched down in a quiet clearing on the edge of a forest, far from human eyes. As the engines quieted, Zephyr took a moment to gather his thoughts. Remember, our mission is to observe. We need to understand these humans better, he reminded his team. The others nodded, still buzzing with energy. Once they stepped out of the ship, the fresh air filled their lungs, and they were greeted by the sound of chirping birds and rustling leaves. The colors around them were bright and vivid, unlike anything they had seen in their home galaxy. "It's beautiful here," Zara said, her eyes wide with wonder. She looked up at the blue sky dotted with fluffy white clouds. "Stay focused," Grom said, scanning the area. He had always been the cautious one, ready for any threat. "We need to move quickly before anyone sees us." They ventured deeper into the forest, careful to stay hidden. The trees were tall and thick, providing cover as they made their way towards a nearby village. Zephyr felt a mix of excitement and anxiety. What would they find? Would the humans be as weak as the council believed, or were they hiding their true power? As they approached the village, they heard laughter and chatter. The sound grew louder, and soon they could see houses and people bustling about. The team found a good spot to hide behind some bushes, peering out at the scene before them. Zephyr's heart raced with curiosity. Humans of all shapes and sizes moved around the village. Some were working in gardens, while others chatted with neighbors. Children played in the streets, their laughter ringing through the air. Zephyr watched, fascinated. "Look at them," he whispered to his team. "They seem so alive." Lyra, the pilot, smiled at the sight. "They're just like us in many ways. They laugh, they play, they care for each other." As the team continued to observe, they noticed a group of humans gathered in a small park. They were having a picnic, sharing food and stories. One child tripped and fell, and the others rushed to help him up. Zephyr felt a warmth in his chest. "They're kind," he said softly. "Maybe we misunderstood them." But then, an adult human looked around, sensing something unusual in the air. The diplomat's heart raced as he realized they might be discovered. "We should move," Zephyr urged. "We don't want to cause panic." The team quickly retreated deeper into the forest, keeping an eye on the village. As they walked, they discussed what they had seen. "Humans are not as weak as we thought," Zara said, her voice filled with excitement. "They are strong in their own way." "Yes," Zephyr agreed, "but we still need to be careful. They might not welcome us if they find out we are here." As they reached a small hill overlooking the village, they paused to take in the view. The sun was setting, painting the sky in shades of orange and pink. It was a beautiful sight, one that made Zephyr feel a sense of peace. "I can't believe we are actually here," Grom said, his earlier caution fading away. "This planet is amazing." Just then, a loud noise startled them. It came from the village, and the humans began to look around, confused and worried. "What was that?" Lyra asked, her eyes wide. "Let's find out," Zephyr said, curiosity driving him forward. They moved closer, hiding behind trees as they listened. The noise grew louder, and the team could see smoke rising in the distance. "Something is happening," Zephyr whispered. "We need to see what it is." With that, they decided to move towards the village, unaware that their presence was about to change everything. As Zephyr and his team crept closer to the village, they could hear the noise more clearly now. It sounded like shouting mixed with confusion. The humans were pointing at the sky, their faces showing fear and surprise. Something was happening, and the aliens needed to know what it was. "Stay low and quiet," Zephyr instructed his team. They moved carefully through the underbrush, each step taken with caution. The sounds grew louder as they approached the edge of the village, and soon they reached a clearing that offered a good view. In the distance, they saw a small group of humans gathered around what looked like a crashed vehicle. It was metal and smoking, and it appeared to be in distress. A few humans were trying to help, but they looked lost and unsure. Zephyr felt a wave of empathy wash over him. These humans seemed to be in trouble. "Should we help them?" Zara asked, her eyes wide with concern. "I don't know," Grom replied, his brow furrowed. "What if they see us? We might scare them." Zephyr thought for a moment. He wanted to help, but he also didn't want to reveal their presence just yet. "Let's wait and see. We should observe how they react to the situation first." As they watched, a brave human stepped forward. He had dark hair and wore a blue shirt. "Everyone stay back," he shouted, trying to calm the crowd. "We need to make sure it's safe." The crowd quieted down, and the man moved closer to the wreckage. Suddenly, there was a loud bang, and the vehicle exploded in a shower of sparks. The humans screamed and jumped back in fear. Zephyr's heart raced. This was the moment he had feared. Would they run away, Or would they try to help each other? To his surprise, the humans quickly formed a line, helping one another as they moved away from the danger. The brave man was still shouting orders, directing people to safety. "Get the children away! Call for help!" he commanded. Zephyr felt a surge of admiration for this human. He was strong and decisive, qualities the council had never considered in humans before. "Look at them!" Lyra exclaimed, her eyes shining with excitement. "They are working together!" "Yes," Zephyr agreed, "but we must stay hidden. We don't want to scare them." Just then, the brave human turned his head, scanning the area as if sensing something out of place. Zephyr's heart pounded in his chest. Had they been spotted? To their relief, the man shook his head and continued to direct the others. "We need to help the injured," he shouted, and the crowd began to move forward again, trying to approach the wreckage carefully. Seeing the bravery of the humans, Zephyr felt inspired. "Let's help them," he decided. "We cannot stand by and do nothing while they risk their lives." With a nod from his team, they stepped out from their hiding place, ready to assist. As they revealed themselves, the humans gasped in shock. The crowd froze, staring at the aliens in disbelief. "What are you?" shouted one woman, her voice trembling. The brave man stepped in front of her, trying to protect her. "Stay back!" he warned, ready to defend his people. But Zephyr raised his hands in peace. "Wait! We come in peace. We want to help!" The crowd murmured nervously, unsure of what to believe. "Help?" the brave man asked, his eyes narrowing. "How can you help?" "We have technology," Zephyr explained. "We can assist with the wreckage and any injured. We want to save lives." The human's expression softened, but caution remained. "You expect us to trust you? You just appeared out of nowhere." "Trust is earned," Zephyr replied, looking directly into the man's eyes. "Let us prove ourselves." After a tense moment, the human nodded, slowly lowering his guard. "All right. But if you try anything funny, I won't hesitate to fight back." Zephyr smiled, feeling a mix of relief and excitement. "That is all we ask. Let's work together." With that, Zephyr and his team moved toward the wreckage, ready to help. They knew this was a turning point. Their journey on Earth was about to become much more complicated and much more interesting. As Zephyr and his team approached the wreckage, the atmosphere was tense. The humans were still unsure of their presence, but the brave man, whom Zephyr now recognized as the leader, stepped forward. His determination showed that he was willing to cooperate, even if he had doubts. "What can you do?" the leader asked, crossing his arms. His blue shirt was stained with dirt and soot, but he stood tall, ready to protect his people. "We need help, but I want to know what you can offer." "We can stabilize the wreckage," Zephyr explained, gesturing to his team. "And we have medical supplies to help anyone who is injured." The crowd murmured among themselves, a mix of curiosity and fear evident in their expressions. Zephyr could see some of them starting to nod, while others remained skeptical. "We are not your enemies," he added. "We just want to help." With a reluctant sigh, the leader stepped aside and waved for the team to come closer. "Fine, but let's keep an eye on you." Lyra and Grom quickly moved to the wreckage, their alien technology humming to life. Zephyr focused on the humans, explaining what they would do. "We will create a barrier to prevent any more explosions and check for injuries. Please let us know if anyone needs help." The leader nodded, though he still kept a wary eye on the aliens. "I'm Alex," he introduced himself, "and this is my village. We didn't expect visitors today." Zephyr smiled, trying to ease the tension. "It is an unexpected day for all of us, but we are here now, and we will do our best." As Lyra and Grom worked on stabilizing the wreckage, Zephyr began to talk to the villagers. He learned that the crash was from a small research ship that had lost control. "It was supposed to be a routine mission," a woman explained, her voice shaking. "We didn't think anything could go wrong." Zephyr listened carefully. "Humans are brave to explore the skies," he said, nodding in appreciation. "This kind of courage is admirable." Slowly, the villagers started to relax. They watched as Lyra and Grom skillfully worked on the wreckage, their technology emitting a soft glow. It was clear they were making progress, and the villagers were curious about how the aliens operated. "Can you tell us what that device does?" a young man asked, his eyes wide with interest. "This device will stabilize the ship and prevent it from exploding again," Grom explained, glancing up briefly. "It redirects the energy and keeps it contained." "Wow," the young man replied, clearly impressed. "You're like nothing we've ever seen." As the team continued to work, Zephyr noticed more humans gathering around, intrigued by the aliens and their technology. The initial fear was giving way to curiosity and hope. Zephyr realized this was an opportunity not just to help, but to build a bridge between their worlds. Once they finished stabilizing the wreckage, Zephyr turned his attention back to the villagers. "Now let's check for any injuries," he said. The humans stepped back, giving the aliens room to operate. Zephyr and his team moved among the villagers, offering their medical supplies. They used simple tools to treat minor cuts and bruises, and the humans were amazed at how quickly the aliens worked. Alex watched closely, his arms crossed. "You're good at this," he admitted grudgingly. "I didn't think you could help." Zephyr smiled, feeling a sense of pride. "We are all living beings. Helping each other is what matters." As they finished treating the last villager, Zephyr noticed a shift in the atmosphere. The humans were no longer afraid. Instead, they were grateful. "Thank you for your help," Alex said, his voice sincere. "We didn't expect this, but I'm glad you came." This small moment felt significant to Zephyr. "We are glad to be here," he replied. "And we hope to learn more about you and your world." "Maybe we can learn from each other," Alex suggested, a hint of a smile breaking through his serious demeanor. "Exactly," Zephyr said. "Let's see what we can discover together." With that, the ice began to break. The villagers were starting to see the aliens as allies rather than threats. As the sun began to set, casting a warm glow over the village, Zephyr felt a wave of hope. They had made a crucial first step in forging a new relationship, one that could change everything for both species. As the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of orange and purple, the mood in the village shifted. What began as fear and suspicion had transformed into curiosity and warmth. Zephyr and his team felt a sense of accomplishment as they interacted with the humans, forging a bond that no one had anticipated. "All right, everyone," Alex called out, gathering the villagers around. "Let's make sure we take care of our new friends. They helped us when we were in trouble." His voice was strong and confident, a true leader in the moment. The villagers nodded, their expressions now filled with gratitude. One woman stepped forward, carrying a plate of food. "You must be hungry. Please share a meal with us," she offered, her eyes bright with kindness. Zephyr glanced at his team, who looked just as surprised as he felt. "Thank you," he said, accepting the plate. "We would be honored to share a meal." As they sat around a large fire, the scent of grilled vegetables and bread wafted through the air. The humans watched with keen interest as Zephyr and his team took their first bites. "It's delicious," Lyra exclaimed, her eyes wide. The villagers laughed, delighted to see the aliens enjoying their food. "Tell us more about yourselves," a young man named Marco asked. He was eager to know about the beings who had come from the stars. "Where do you come from?" "We are from a planet called Zenthia," Zephyr replied. "It is very different from Earth. The skies are purple and the trees are tall and glowing. We came here to explore, but we didn't expect to find humans like you." The villagers leaned closer, fascinated by the tales of distant lands. They shared stories of their own, about their traditions, their struggles, and their hopes for the future. For the first time, it felt like they were not just different species, but partners in a shared journey. As the night wore on, Alex proposed an idea. "Let's work together to build a communication device," he said, excitement shining in his eyes. "If we could talk with you regularly, we could learn so much from each other." Zephyr's heart raced. This was a perfect way to deepen their connection. "We can help with that. Our technology can assist you in creating a device that will allow us to communicate across distances," he replied. "We can start tomorrow." The villagers erupted in cheers, their voices filled with enthusiasm. The atmosphere was electric, and Zephyr felt a sense of belonging he had never experienced before. This was not just a mission anymore, it was the beginning of a friendship. As the fire crackled and the stars twinkled overhead, Zephyr thought about the journey ahead. They had crossed paths in a moment of crisis, but now they stood on the edge of something wonderful. "Together we can achieve great things," he said, looking around at the smiling faces of the villagers. The following morning, the sun rose brightly, casting a warm light over the village. The humans and aliens gathered to begin their project. Zephyr's team brought out their tools and equipment, and the humans watched closely, eager to learn. "Can you show us how it works?" Marco asked, his eyes shining with curiosity. "Of course," Lyra said, stepping forward with enthusiasm. She demonstrated how to connect wires and calibrate the device. The humans quickly caught on, asking questions and making suggestions. The teamwork was seamless. Aliens and humans worked side by side, sharing laughter and ideas. As they constructed the device, they exchanged stories and jokes, breaking down the barriers that once divided them. As the sun climbed higher in the sky, the communication device began to take shape. Zephyr felt a sense of pride in what they were creating together. It was more than just a piece of technology, it represented their growing friendship. Finally, after hours of hard work, they connected the final piece. Zephyr stepped back, wiping the sweat from his brow. "Now let's test it," he said, his heart pounding with anticipation. Alex smiled, excitement bubbling in his chest. "Let's do it!" With a deep breath, Zephyr activated the device. A series of beeps echoed through the air, and suddenly a clear voice came through. "Hello? Can anyone hear me?" The crowd erupted in cheers. They had done it! They had created a bridge between their worlds. As the day came to a close, Zephyr looked around at the smiling faces of his new friends. "Today, we have built more than a device. We have built respect and understanding," he said. "This is just the beginning." With that, they all gathered for a celebration, ready to embrace the future together.